How do you build the world's largest, most enduring organization of followers? 2.56 billion strong, nearly 1/3 of the global population. How do you do it? You start by giving them a day off. Hi, and welcome to the 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast. Here we educate, equip, and empower emerging leaders with God-thought leadership, and we present current events and newsmakers in the light of best practices from the Bible. Long before Forbes and Neuroscience validated it, Jesus hardwired rest into leadership. After 6 days of labor, the seventh day was declared sacred, non-negotiable pause. Not laziness, but leadership wisdom. On January 23rd, in the January 23rd Forbes article entitled 3 Healthy Habits to Automate in 2026 for Effective Leadership, it argues that elite leaders no longer find time for health. They move it into their decision fatigue. Automation does the trick. Jesus modeled this strategic pause repeatedly. After the disciples' first mission, he didn't call a debrief meeting, he called a retreat. Come away by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest, according to Mark 6:31. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker reminds us that a sleep-deprived brain is up to 40% less effective at learning and decision-making and far more prone to reckless risk. And that's not just personal, that's organizational exposure. Silver medal leaders understand this truth. Rest is not a reward for productivity. Rest is a prerequisite for it. So if you're serious about effective leadership in 2026, then automate the strategic pause. So here's my leadership question for you today. What would change in your leadership if rest was protected and not postponed? Let me repeat that. What would change in your leadership if rest were protected and not postponed? Thanks for joining us this afternoon for the 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast. In fact, first of all, join us each weekday for the 10 Commandments for Tim Alston's Leadership Nuggets, educating, equipping, and empowering emerging leaders to manage ego problems in 60 seconds. That happens each weekday, airing at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, as well as continue to join us each weekday afternoon for the 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast at 4 p.m. Central Time. And all of these episodes are available on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. See you then, and invite a friend. Bye-bye.